guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a really fun video idea
That's
that
what
I've
she
been
thinks.
hinting at for a while now. This is inspired by Books and Lala, so I'll put her channel down below so that you can check out her channel. But today, my lovely husband is going to pick 3 books for me to read, and then I will read them and tell you if I like them. And if...
What are the rules? I can
Okay.
just pick a bunch of economics books for you.
No, so here's
Yes.
the rules. Okay, so we're going to go down to Barnes & Noble. I don't know if I'll get any footage in the store because I'm afraid of filming in public. But, okay, here's the rules. First rule, it has to be a book I haven't read before.
Good.
Second book, it has to be from a genre that I like.
That's harder.
So you can't just pick like an economics
Textbook.
book. Or a textbook or like a romance or something because I don't like those.
Could be fun.
Okay? And then the third rule, or like your goal,
Okay.
is you're trying to pick something that I would pick.
Easy.
So it's like, does my husband know my book taste?
Hopefully.
So his goal is to pick a book that I would pick, and my rule is that I have to accept what books he picks.
Oh no. Well,
So
this could be a sad video real quick.
So we're gonna go down to the bookstore, and he's gonna pick some books. I don't know if I'll have any footage. If I do, I'll put it in, and then we'll come back, and then you will describe to them
Why I picked them?
why you picked
Oh,
those
no.
books. Okay, ready?
Alright.
Here we go to the store. Okay, we're back now from the store. So, do you want to show them
You ready?
the books?
All
Why
right.
you picked them?
The Marlow Murder Club. Alright, this is by Robert Thoroughgood or something. I picked this because
Thoroughgood.
Sandy likes reading murder books, and I don't know why, about old ladies. So this lady is 77 years old, and she liked when these old ladies killed a vampire one time in one of her books. So hopefully this is another good one for her. That's the Marlow Club.
Don't throw the new books.
Looks better on camera. The Drowning Woods. I like
You
trees.
didn't show
Oh.
them what it actually looks like. Okay.
Drowning Woods with Emily Lloyd Jones. She likes trees. I like trees. Looks cool. Drowning, probably death, and she likes that for some reason. And then this lady's from rural Oregon, and I'm from Oregon. So I judged a book by its cover, and now she's gonna read it. Throw this one.
Don't throw it. Don't.
And Electra by Jennifer Saint, because I know she likes Greek stuff. Pretty sure that's Greek. It's got a little olive branch in it. So pretty sure this is Greek. Retelling women stuff. Looks like it is. Yep, that's why. More Greek women stories. She'll keep telling me about them.
Okay.
Here's your books.
So those were the books. So I'm gonna read them, and then as I read them, I will check in with you
She'll load them all.
about what they're about and if I like them. And then we'll check in together at the end of the video again.
You know you like them.
Okay. Okay, so the first book I'm going to read for this is The Marlow Murder Club. So I'm going to read you the actual synopsis since we didn't read any synopsises when we showed you all the books. So it says, Judith Potts is 77 years old and blissfully happy. She lives in her own faded mansion just outside Marlow. There's no man in her life to tell her what to do or how much whiskey to drink, and she keeps herself busy. She sets crosswords for the national newspapers. One evening, while out swimming in the Thames, Judith, what did I read it like that? Judith witnesses a brutal murder. The local police don't believe her story, so she decides to investigate for herself and is soon joined in her quest by Susie, a salt-of-the-earth dog walker, and Bex, the prim and proper wife of the local vicar. Together they are the Marlow Murder Club. When another body turns up, they realize they have a real-life serial killer on their hands. and the puzzle they set out to solve has become a trap from which they might never escape. So this is 282 pages. So I think I'll check in with you around the 100-page mark and tell you how I'm feeling about it. This does seem right up my alley, though. I mean, old ladies solving murders? Yes, please. Because listen, I am a Murder, She Wrote gal. That is what I was raised on. And it's just, I am, okay? Okay? And also was raised on British TV shows because my mom really likes British TV shows, and a lot of them are like British murder mystery shows. So this is a British murder mystery with old women. Basically sounds like my childhood of watching TV with my mom. So yeah, I'm going to start reading this, and I will check in with you around the 100-page mark and let you know how I'm feeling about it. Hello. I wanted to check in with you about this before I forget. I'm about 100 pages in, and I am enjoying it so far. It's definitely more of like a cozy mystery. The things that happen in it are not super dark or nefarious or anything, and kind of silly. Hello? Is that really necessary? Yikes. Anyway, a little silly. But it's like one of those things where it's like you're reading it for entertainment, not to like have lots of deep thoughts about it. There are a few elements that I'm not loving, but I think that I will finish the book and see if those elements continue happening, and then I'll talk to you about them when I'm done with it. But yeah, so far I'm liking it. So far it's like, I would say a 4 stars so far, but I still have like 200 pages to go, so we'll see. But yeah, that's my update. Hello. I finished this book like a week and a half ago, and I keep forgetting to talk about it, so let's talk about it. So this one is the Marlow Murder Club by Robert Thoroughgood. I finished it, like I said, like a week and a half ago. My overall rating would probably be like a 3.75 if I'm being specific here. Should I talk about what I liked first or what I didn't like? We'll talk about what I liked first. It's very entertaining. This is definitely a book for entertainment. It is like very similar to that kind of Murder, She Wrote style of thing where the events that happen are kind of silly, not very realistic. You're like you know when you're watching Murder, She Wrote and things happen and Angela Lansbury just like happens to be there and you're like, oh, how convenient. That's how this is. And it's fun and I enjoy that. I like it's a cozy mystery. It's very much just like, here's some entertainment. And so I had a good time reading this book. But here's my qualm with it. And the reason that I knocked down a star is that, how do I want to say this? The point of this book is entertainment, but then there's this kind of weird, deeper narrative put throughout that I don't agree with, that kind of acts like all of the men in this book and husbands in this book are completely useless and they don't help their wives and they don't know how to take care of their children even though they've had children for years and years and years, and it's like they don't know anything. And I'm aware that some husbands are like that, but I don't think that it helps men or women to perpetuate negative stereotypes like that. I just don't. I don't think that that's helpful to anybody. I think that that doesn't show that you can be in a healthy relationship. And I thought that it didn't really have anything to do with the rest of the book. so I didn't really understand why it was included, because the rest of this book, it's this super fun story and it's really entertaining, and then you have this like attitude that these husbands are just like totally useless to their wives. And then the other thing I didn't like is that it kind of insinuates that the woman who is a stay-at-home mom is like wasting her time or wasting her talent by being a stay-at-home mom, and I'm just not okay with that, because it's not a waste of time to be a stay-at-home mom, and it's not a waste of talent either. And that's something that I have seen a lot of on the internet recently, is people saying that stay-at-home moms are lazy. Or I saw a comment the other day on a video on Instagram that said that person didn't think that stay-at-home moms were lazy, but that they obviously didn't have the ambition to have a career, and that they should be embarrassed by that. And I was like, hold up. What? Your ambition and your talent doesn't go down if you choose to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, that's a very awesome thing to do. And that's not something everybody can do, and I'm not saying that if you're a mom who works that you're bad, because you're not at all. But I don't think that it's right to say that stay-at-home moms are wasting their lives or their talents by being mothers. That's not okay. I'm not okay with that. Because I'm a housewife, and when my baby's born, I'll be a stay-at-home mom, and I'm really looking forward to it. And it's something that I take pride in, that I am able to do so. And I realize that it's a blessing, especially in this economy, because money is tight for a lot of people, and being a single income household is a difficult thing. But yeah, I just kind of didn't like that that was thrown in there, because I didn't think that it really had anything else to do with the story or the rest of the book. And I just thought that that was kind of unnecessary. And kind of what bothered me about it too is that, so there's not like one point of view. It's kind of like a omniscient third person narrator. And it would say these things about these women's husbands where they're like complaining about them not knowing how to do something, or like one of them was like, she was at work and she was thinking about how her husband was at home, snuggled up on the couch with their daughter, watching a movie with her and spending time with her, but that image was tainted in her mind because he wasn't preparing her lunch for the next day, and he wasn't doing the laundry. And it's like, and she said that those were usually her tasks that she did. And I'm like, okay, if you don't communicate a need, then your spouse won't know that you need help with it. You cannot, like, this book was expecting these husbands to read their wives' minds, and that's just not something that's possible or realistic or healthy in a relationship. And you can't expect your spouse to just know what you need all the time. If you have a need, you need to communicate that need. And if you're the one who usually does those tasks and you're acting like everything is fine, how is your spouse supposed to know that everything's not fine and that you need help? Right? I don't know. I just think that the relationships in this book perpetuated negative stereotypes that I just don't think that's helpful to anybody. But it was entertaining, and I liked the actual storyline of the book. So that's why I knocked it down a little bit, is because I liked the actual storyline, but I thought that that was a weird thing to throw in. And yeah, it just made me feel strong feelings about that. And I thought it was kind of ironic, I guess, because, you know, this video is my husband choosing books for me to read, and then this book is about husbands being sucky. And I'm like, if my husband read this, then I'm sure he would think like, oh, you know, I don't act that way towards my wife, you know, and like be like, oh, you know, that could hurt his feelings that husbands are being portrayed that way, especially husbands of stay-at-home moms. He doesn't act that way. Like, he supports me in everything that I do and makes it possible for me to do things and for me to be a stay-at-home mom. So, yeah, that's how I felt about this book, which is The Marlow Murder Club by Robert Thoroughgood. Okay, so the next book that I'm reading for this challenge, activity, I don't know what you want to call it, is The Drowned Woods by Emily Lloyd Jones. I took the dust jacket off to read it. I am currently on page 40. I have not gone very far into this because I started reading it and then I had to be at the doctor's office a bunch of times and in the hospital and stuff, and things just got a little crazy last week, and so I did not read very much more of it, but I want to get to more of it soon. But the synopsis says, once upon a time the kingdoms of Wales were rife. Oh, this takes place in Wales? Rife with magic and conflict. An 18-year-old Mererid, or Mare, is well acquainted with both. As the last living water diviner, she can manipulate water with magic, and it's a skill many would kill to possess. Can I read? Hello? For years, Mare has been running from the prince who bound her into his service and forced her to kill hundreds with her magic. Now, all Mare desires is a safe, quiet life, far from power and politics. But that peace is disrupted when Mare's old handler returns with a proposition: use her abilities to bring down the very prince who abused them both. With a motley crew of allies, including a fey-cursed young man, the Lady of Thieves, and a corgi that may or may not be a spy, Mare must decide whether to run for the rest of her life or stand and fight for the true freedom she's long desired. Part heist novel, part dark fairy tale, this immersive and ethereal fantasy from acclaimed author Emily Lloyd Jones will enchant readers until the very last page. Sweet. I actually hadn't read that yet. I just started reading the book. So, yeah, so far it's interesting. Like I said, I'm only like 40 pages in, so I don't really have too much to tell you about it. I didn't realize it took place in Wales. That's fun. I'll check in with you. Let's see, how long is this book? I'm trying to not get any spoilers here. 338. There's 338 pages, so I'll probably check in with you maybe around like the 200 page mark, somewhere in there. Tell you how I'm feeling about it so far. But yeah, that is the next book that I will be reading for this video. Okay, I wasn't expecting to check in with you so soon, but I am now on page 215 of The Drowned Woods. Pretty interesting so far. The pacing could be a little better because there's things happening, but also like not that much happening. You know what I mean? But I'm just now starting to get into more of the like action of the book. A lot of it up until now has been more like of the backstory and build up, and now we're getting to like what they're trying to accomplish. But yeah, I think it's pretty good so far. I'm not really sure what else to say about it. I'll keep reading, and wow, that is loud and unnecessary. I'll keep reading, and I'll probably honestly finish this pretty quick because it's a pretty fast read. It's YA, so it's pretty easy to read for me. The only thing is, like, because it is fantasy, there's words that are made up, you know, and those are kind of hard to understand sometimes. Because, like, sometimes you just have to, like, skip over the word and pretend that you know what you're reading. And I've had to do that a few times just because it, like, gets kind of muddy with fantasy sometimes. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But the world building is pretty good, and it's very atmospheric, which I enjoy. So yeah, I will check in with you when I'm done. Okay. finished The Drowned Woods by Emily Lloyd Jones. Is that right? Yes. Let's see. What do I have to say about this? I think my final rating would probably be 4 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it. I think it's a fun little adventure. Like I said in my check-in, the pacing was a little bit weird. It could have been a little better, but it wasn't like horrible or anything. There was a little plot twist that I did not see coming, and I enjoyed that. Thought that was nice. And there's a lot of discussion in this book of like when it's okay to sacrifice a life for something and when it's not okay to sacrifice a life, and I thought that that was very interesting. I thought the characters were pretty good. They were a little two-dimensional, but when there was character development, I think it was done well. And I enjoyed seeing their motivations in their past and stuff like that. So yeah. I don't know if I have anything else to say about this. I'm not sure why it's called The Drowned Woods, because it's mostly about water and iron. There's not that much about trees. So I don't know what the woods part comes from. Maybe just like because they go through the woods sometimes. I don't really know what that part is about. But yeah, I think the inclusion of like Welsh myth was cool, and that's not something that I know very much about, so that would be really cool to learn more about. That would be something that I would be interested in. And I thought that it was done well. So yeah, I enjoyed it. 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I'm going to read, hold on, I didn't grab it. Let me go get it. Okay, the last book for this is Electra by Jennifer Saint. Here is the synopsis. Do I remember how to say this woman's name? When Clytemnestra, is that how you say it? Clytemnestra marries Agamemnon, she ignores the insidious whispers about his family line, the House of Atreus. But when on the eve of the Trojan War, Agamemnon betrays Clytemnestra in the most unimaginable way, she must confront the curse that has long ravaged their family. In Troy, Princess Cassandra has the gift of prophecy but carries a curse of her own. No one will ever believe what she says. When she's shown what will happen to her beloved city when Agamemnon and his army arrive, she is powerless to stop the tragedy from unfolding. Electra, Clytemnestra and Agamemnon's youngest daughter, wants only for her beloved father to return home from war. But can she escape her family's bloody history, or is her destiny bound by violence too? So, yeah, I'm very interested in this. I need to review how to say Agamemnon's wife's name because I don't think I'm pronouncing it right. Greek names can be tricky sometimes. They definitely can. But Jennifer Saint wrote Ariadne, which I read earlier this month, and I really, really enjoyed Ariadne. And so that's kind of why I wanted to read this. But I actually didn't even realize that it was about like Agamemnon's story and Troy and stuff. Although I will say, why do they have to put these stickers on here? Because this is paper. This is a paper cover. And if I try and take these stickers off, it will rip. And that is just rude. I think that is probably every book reader's biggest pet peeve. Not biggest, but like one of them. So yeah, I'm excited to read this one. Let's see how long it is. 287. Whoa, the text is huge though. Okay, 287 pages. The text is really large. I probably will get through this pretty quickly. But yeah, I'll check in with you once I'm about halfway through it, whenever that is. Maybe it will be today, maybe it won't, we'll see. And let you know how I'm feeling. And maybe I'll be better at pronouncing the words. So I'll see you then. Okay, editing me, checking in. I lost the clip where I was reviewing or checking in about Electra, so sorry, and now here is just the review. Okay, so I finished Electra, and I loved it. I'm giving this 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. What to say about it? It's pretty intense, which makes sense considering the subject matter. I mean, it's about a war, so like, you know. But I really liked the way it explored the concept of like the family curse and like if revenge is worth it, which in my opinion I don't think revenge is ever worth it, and like I don't think that's something that you should be striving for on a day-to-day basis. So I think you should like try to keep revenge out of your life, because I just like don't think that it's really productive. But yeah, I think I really liked the way that this book explored that, like, is the revenge worth it? Because Clytemnestra? I still never looked up how to say that. Hold on.
Clytemnestra.
Clytemnestra. Oh yeah, I was right. Clytemnestra. Okay. So, what was I talking about? Revenge. Clytemnestra focuses so heavily on taking revenge on Agamemnon, and then when she finally does, I just really like the way that it explored her own thoughts and feelings about that. Like, her thinking, you know, was that worth it? Did I do the right thing? And realizing that she focused on that solely, basically, for 10 years and harbored so much anger. And then once it was done, she realized she didn't have any more purpose in her life, because she made that her whole purpose, was taking revenge against him. So I thought that was really interesting. Electra, whose book is named after her, it doesn't play a huge role. Well, she plays a large role, but like, she's like maybe 1/3 of the book is her perspective, maybe. So like, I think it should have maybe not been named after her. I guess Electra is easier to pronounce than Clytemnestra, so that makes sense. But I liked Clytemnestra's sections a lot more than Electra's sections, and a lot more than Cassandra's sections. But I still thought that all 3 were interesting characters. I did not like Electra as a character, but I don't think you were supposed to like her. So, like, that doesn't bring any stars off for me, because I don't think you have to like a character for the book to be good. And in this case, I think not liking the character and seeing her motivations and being frustrated with her is part of what made the book good. So yeah, that is my review of Electra by Jennifer Saint. Okay, so I read all 3 books, and my final consensus is 5 stars, 3.75, and 4. So overall, I think you did a pretty good job.
Yeah. Over 4 stars average.
Yeah.
That's right.
Those are high ratings.
That's what happens when you know your wife.
So, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you liked it. I had fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah? Comment and tell me if you think that my husband should buy me more books. The answer is yes.
Now, what they should do is see if their boyfriends or husbands or whoever, significant other, get a higher score average than I did.
Yes.
Got
Do
an
this
average over 4 stars.
experiment with your significant other and tell us how well they do at knowing you and your reading taste. And subscribe for more videos like this. Bye!